right here when you want to start talking. Okay. So we are live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to that Zoom Bet Midrash, Mizrahi Bet Midrash. I'm Sivan Rahav-Meir. I'm here in New York. Basically, really excited talking about the advantages, what we can learn from that tragic period, sad period in our history. So I think it's the 10th Zoom shiur I give, and that's quite exciting to try and teach here. I just put this background, not only because I speak from New York, just because I don't want you to see the mess, the balagan in my house behind me. So I'm using that tool tonight. I do wanna start by thanking the Mizrahi movement, World Mizrahi movement. We're shlichim here in New York. I don't know what's going to happen with our shlichut. Most of us, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, basically. But we came here to New York at the beginning of the year, my husband, Yedidia, with me and our 5 kids. And we live here in 5 towns area. And we met so many communities all over North America, campuses, schools, shuls, so many people. And that was the beginning of the year. And now it stopped, obviously. We hope to continue. And the exciting thing is you can, let's wait a minute. My husband's also my cameraman who wants to improve the frame. Okay, better? Good? Okay, I put New York. I don't want him to see the house. So yeah, we're here locked just like you. 2 weeks, I think already. How much time is it? Basically, I'm here to share just a few messages. I'm not a Rebbetzin. I saw so many important people, famous people, Talmidei Chachamim, so many like really inspiring people that spoke in this beautiful project, the virtual Bet Midrash. I want to thank Rabbi Taragin, Rabbi Reuven Taragin for setting everything up. And of course, Rabbi Doron Peretz from the Mizrahi movement and Daniel Cohen that worked so hard and other people that weren't in touch with me directly, but I guess they worked hard to organize that beautiful project with so many speakers. I was thinking just about, my simple messages as a mother, as an Israeli journalist. I work in Israel for Channel 12 News, the main, I would say, the Israeli news company. I work for Galei Tzahal, the radio station, and for Yediot Ahronoth, the daily newspaper. So I speak as a mother, as a journalist, and as an Israeli who's in the States right now. And I want to share maybe 3 messages, 3 thoughts I had during those, crazy weeks we've all been through. And we'll continue and we'll start and see. I just want to check once again. Can you all hear me and see me? I just need just a little bit of feedback since, it's hard. You just see yourself and that's it. So is it okay? Just waiting for your approval and I'll continue. Okay. So I want to start by sharing it was maybe the last public event I attended before that thing started. We were it was in Washington, D.C. We live here, New York, but we were invited to read Megillat Esther, to a Purim celebration in the house of Ron Dermer, the Israeli ambassador here in the States. And of course, we were quite excited, but I told the person who called me, I think it was the secretary, I told her, it's impossible since we have 5 kids, and driving from New York to Washington, 5 hours, it's too much. It's like, and the kids, to bring 5 kids with us, I'm sure that's not the diplomatic style you want in the ambassador's residence. But they said, no. Mr. Dermer says, come with the kids. There will be other kids there. So, okay, that's what we did. We drove, and it was Ta'anit Esther for 5 hours, and we came, and we spent a beautiful night there. And eventually I did see there are other kids there. And maybe you know who their grandfather is. Their grandfather is Donald Trump. So basically, Jared, Ivanka, they were there with the kids listening to Megillat Esther. It was very nice, meeting them, meeting so many other people. I think it was the last public event before things became much more crazy, and we couldn't do it anymore. So I heard a beautiful idea there, and I think about it so much since everything changed and stopped. I heard Ron Dermer spoke before the Megillah, and he said that Mordechai, when he comes to Esther, it's the hardest, timing in Jewish history. Everything is supposed to stop. We are supposed to all be murdered, להשמיד, להרוג ולאבד. It's Amalek all over again, trying once again to hurt us. But Mordechai doesn't beg. He doesn't beg and say, Esther, you must save us. What will we do without you? That's usually what we do when when we feel lost. No. Mordechai says, אל תדמי בנפשך, אל תדמי בנפשך, להימלט בית המלך מכל היהודים. Don't imagine you can escape from all the Jews into the king's palace. כי אם החרש תחרישי בעת הזו, if you'll be silent now, רווח והצלה יעמוד ליהודים ממקום אחר. The Jews will be rescued, in a different way. אבל, and you, ואת ובית אביך, תאבדו. But you, your name, the family name, you will be lost. Meaning, Hashem will solve it. The Jewish people for sure will be saved. That's for sure. The only question is, what will you do? How will you face the challenge? And Esther is doing the right thing. But let's imagine she chooses, she'll stay in the palace. She won't do anything. She'll ignore Mordechai. Okay. רווח והצלה יעמוד ליהודים במקום אחר. History and, that process of redemption, it moves forward. Okay. That's Hashem chashava letova. Elokim, Hashem wants it to be good. We don't understand parts of the process, but we know eventually that at the end of the day, final redemption will be here, will appear. So the only question is, what will we do during the process, and especially in such hard times? And instead, we're sitting here tonight. That's what Ambassador Dermer said. We're sitting here tonight listening to Megillat Esther, named after Esther. Maybe, let's imagine a different scenario. We could be sitting here listening to Megillat Mordechai or Megillat, I don't know. Someone else would do the right thing. But the only question is, facing a challenge is, when we struggle, is what do we do? I took this message back home with me. And a few days later, we all started facing a challenge. We have no idea why it happens, how much, how long will it last? And what's going on here in this world? Everything is shaking. I just made plans for Shabbat. Now I think how ridiculous was I just a few hours ago to plan something, beforehand for like 3-4 days before it happens. The only open question is, what we do as Jews, as individuals, as human beings, as parents, as kids to our parents, as grandchildren. That's the only question. And I don't know why I took that message back home with me. It really helps me a lot in that crazy period. And I want to add to that message something else. My daughter every morning wakes up. They have those phone calls. Very serious here. The American system is very serious. So many teachers, they call every morning and they have so many lessons in shiurim every morning. So basically, she calls every morning. Her name is Mrs. Wolf, Dvora Wolf. And she wrote to the girls. She's the history teacher. She wrote the girls a letter, a beautiful letter, before it all started. And she said, I just want you to know, we're learning history. We're making history. This is history. What's going on now, that's real history. And in 100 years, they will be learning, next century, they will be reading history books about us. So now, every day, when you wake up, just know you are writing a magnificent chapter in our history. So make sure you know what's the responsibility, and act, the way you want them to read 100 years from now. How do you want them to read about you and about our generation? I think it's it's a beautiful way to look at what we do. It really helps, because every day the daily routine is not so historical. And what I do here with the kids, it's quite, frustrating sometimes. But yeah, now we're part of the history. I want to share after that, I don't know, introduction. I just want to share 3 thoughts I had during that week. 3 thoughts about our challenges today and our mission today as engaged Jews, proud, active Jews. I think as Jews, we should always seek and search and find what's the purpose. How can we make it meaningful? How can we find like a mission, a task in this situation with facing this reality? I found 3 answers. I just want to share. As I said, I'm just a simple person. No, so simple. I don't even have a cup here. Sorry. I just want to share those 3 thoughts I had about how can we even take advantage? How can we use that special, period? So the first thing, and you can see it here in the slide. Let's see if it works. Okay. It's an opportunity to build our identity. הזדמנות לבנות את האישיות שלנו. I think this special event helps us in a way find out new things about ourselves. And if it weren't for the coronavirus, I think I knew less about who I really am. I want to explain something. I just spoke about it with the kids here. We used to have everything. Whenever we want it, we get it. You want it, you get it. When we moved here to the States, I remember one of the Rebbitzins here in Five Towns, she came to our house and gave us so many instructions and help. The Eruv map, the Eruv and the kosher restaurants. It's okay. All the restaurants here are kosher basically. And many tips. And I asked her, what else can you give me? Okay, that's like the religious part. It's very important, everything you shared. But how else can you help me? And she said 2 words. She said, Amazon Prime. Boom. It changed my world. We don't have it in Israel yet. Maybe we're fortunate since it made us addicted. You want it, you get it in a minute. And 24 hours. You don't have to do anything. It's just at your door. You don't even have to meet, the delivery. They just put it there, You don't have to meet any human beings. You click any hour of the day, whatever you want, whenever you want. Wow, you should see the bills now. And sometimes I ask my husband, okay, but when we were in Israel, we didn't need it. We needed other things. Why do we need those things now? And the fact it's so available, I think it changes our identity. It makes us, maybe everything, especially in America. I mean, we're here for 5-6 months. So we see everything with our Israeli eyes. Everything here. Israel is also very developed. Okay. We don't live, in tents with the camels. But I think in a way, Israel is healthier or more balanced. I'll give you another example. The first day I was here, I also work at Stern College, YU, Yeshiva University. And I took I was so excited, took the train, I came to a Penn Station and I had to walk for 10 minutes of walking. And I was like, I'm working in Manhattan. And there was this person there selling fresh juice. So I asked them for a cup of fresh orange juice just before I start, my first lecture at Stern. So I asked for a small cup of squeezed orange juice. And he gave me a huge cup, something really the size of the screen. So I was like, sorry, I asked for a small one. And he's like, lady, that's small. That's medium. That's large, Welcome to America. He pointed at the cups and he laughed at me. And, welcome to America. Everything is huge. What we call, something I call small is something I call large is small, etc. And in a way, building our identity now means, I think for the first time, to postpone, to understand the secret of waiting for something, the secret of anticipation, the secret of not getting everything the minute you want it. We're stuck here for 2 weeks. We hardly go out from the house. I can really count. I think I was out of this house 3 times. That's all. That's all. Just emergency, shopping, very necessary things you can't order. We're here. We don't go out. And no Amazon Prime, obviously. Amazon, they changed the policy. Everything is, it takes them a week. And the kids, they just asked me, Mommy, we need a haircut. And I said, yeah, you're right. We will learn how to do it here. I don't want anyone to touch your hair now. No, I'm not going to any barber now. I'm sorry. Either you look like you look now or we'll do it home. So simple, so hard. My daughter just asked me, Mommy, let's go Central Avenue, a new dress for Pesach. I said, no, I'm sorry. So what will I wear for the Seder night? I don't know. We'll try to order. I guess it won't be here and it's hard. And I don't know. We're thinking these are the smallest problems we're facing, okay? But still it's hard. We're building our identity. We learn how to wait. And I spoke about the secret of anticipation. I want to show you this picture. Wait a minute. I just tried to improve. Wait a minute, okay? Give me a minute here. And we'll try to improve the presentation. I want you to see the full screen. What you see here, this person, a Jewish researcher called Walter Mischel, Professor Walter Mischel. He is the person behind the marshmallow test, the famous experiment called the marshmallow test, Mivchan HaMarshmallow. And Professor Mischel basically did something very simple. For those of you who know what it is, it will be very short. During the 60s, he went to a certain kindergarten and he told the kids, if you want 1 piece of marshmallow, okay, you can take it now, or either you want to wait for 10 minutes and then you'll get 2. And the majority, of course, just took it was enough. They just took the piece they had, the available piece. But I think 1/3, they waited. And he checked them, decades afterwards, he checked what are the differences between those 2 groups. The majority, the kids who took the marshmallow and ate it, and this small group who had the ability to wait. And he found out so interesting differences. Those who waited were much more successful in every field, in every sphere you'll check. They were more successful, of course, economically. They were healthier. They had much better, style. They didn't use alcohol and drugs much less than the other group. Their marriage life, the way they educated, their kids, everything was better. And he said, yeah, that's the secret. Savlanut, patience. That's the secret, basically, toward everything you want to reach. And I think it's an opportunity we live in a crazy big marshmallow test right now. We're all in this test right now. And it's an opportunity, as I said, to build our identity. But of course, it's much more spiritual than that. It's not only waiting, okay? It's very nice waiting. And I found a beautiful quote, a paragraph written by Rabbi Shlomo Wolbe, Rav Shlomo Wolbe, for the Hebrew speakers. He was a part of the Musar movement, and he taught in many yeshivot in Israel, originally from Europe, originally from the Mir yeshiva in Europe. And he writes, so many times he writes about hitbodedut. Just like Rav Nachman of Breslev, being alone, being isolated. And what you see here, it's one of the quotes, one of the beautiful quotes he used to share with his students, pupils during the years. Rov bnei ha'adam borchim yavdidut, he said. Most of the people, they run away, they escape, they don't want to experience, they don't want to suffer, loneliness. And when the situation forces them 1 hour of being alone, they feel bored. They feel that they're bored. But we should know, someone who is bored in 1 hour of loneliness is completely not connected. He's far away from who he really is. And it's an obligation. We have to. It's a הכרח to teach, to be taught, להתלמד בהתבוננות בעצמנו. We have to learn how to look at ourselves, how to build our identity, how to know who we are. He used to say, Rabbi Wolbe, that the real stranger in our life, the real person we never met, is not some foreigner from Chinese, is us. He used to say it in Hebrew, אני הוא הזר הכי גדול לעצמי. I am the biggest foreigner, in the world, to me, to myself. And that's once again an opportunity. Now we have an opportunity to know who we are, to meet ourselves, to restart parts of our identity. I want to move forward to the second conclusion, the second circle. After we described ourselves, which is, okay, it's very nice to get to know, to know ourselves. I think we learn to evaluate, to appreciate, to cherish, once again, the concept called family. הזדמנות לחזק את המשפחה. It's an opportunity to strengthen the family, the bonds, this connection called being together, knowing each other. This quote from Masechet Ta'anit, I thought about it a lot this week. Look at that sentence. קורות ביתו של אדם מעידים עליו. Meaning the walls of the house, they testify, they tell us who that person really is. Why? How come? Ask my friends, ask my boss, ask my husband. No. The walls, they identify, they describe, they know exactly who you are. That's quite weird. And I thought about this sentence. I think those weeks, they extremely show us how important, how true it is. I mean, let's once again, it's easy to me to describe myself as a career woman. When I go to the desk room, to the news desk, when I go to the radio station to record a show, try to be very nice, and polite and creative and fun and funny and cool, sometimes cynical. When I write a post on social media, on Facebook or Instagram, try to be once again creative and funny and special, to draw attention. When I lock the door, when I come home and close the door and I'm home again, where is all this creativity? Where, the coolness, where do they disappear? I think the answer is yes, many times. I know how hard it is to me, to understand that what's going on in the house, it's also shlichut. And maybe it's a more important shlichut than what was going on out there. Very easy to give a lecture or to work and be successful out there. It's much more flattering. It's much more easy. You get all the likes, the feedbacks, responses. You get it immediately inside the house at your home. Nobody's, clapping or, yeah, great. Nobody sends you emojis with smileys and stars and likes and, hearts. No, I don't know. In my house. So what we see here is a huge challenge. And that's why the walls, they testify. Now we're here in the house. They know who we really are. They know when we wake up and when do we go to sleep? What do we say during the day? How do we treat our kids or the rest of the family? What do we do? How do we spend our time? How much time is wasted on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? Or do we do what we really want to do? Do we daven? Do we learn? Do we still do chesed and tzedakah inside the house? And there are ways to do it now from here. The walls, once again, they know who we are better than us. And they can, help us in a way. We can look at them and see who we are. And I'm laughing while I'm saying it, since I cover the walls behind me, since, sometimes I don't want you to see. So basically, I just want to say, after 2 weeks here, stuck here for 2 weeks, I really think, how the things we're doing here are much more important. I see it with the kids. Who will teach them Manishtana this year? It's not the Mora, the Ganenet, the teacher, the Rebbe anymore. It's us. Although the teachers are great, as I said, they call, they teach. The kids aren't in school. Now they go to the real school called home. And we will have to prepare them. And they look up, they see how important Seder night is. Do we speak about the coronavirus all day? Or can we focus and concentrate and be more mature? Is our identity built and strong enough? Or is it weak and it's Are we now a source of strength? They look up to us, and we will be the ones teaching them for Pesach. Otherwise, they won't know, a lot. How do we daven when they're with us? What do we show them? How do we talk to each other? Now they see everything, they know everything, and the house became, the center of attention. Maybe for us, it was always the place just to come, just to rest a little bit or to eat something and go out because everything happens there. No. The equation changed. The world has changed. That's the focus now. And we got home. We have now home work. Also in Hebrew, it's called shiurei bait, meaning the homework. That's the homework, to do that home work at home. Shiurei bait, meaning we have to learn to appreciate the house, the bait, once again. I saw many pictures about people understanding how important the family is now, finally. I want to share just 2 pictures from Israel, beautiful pictures from Israel this week. The first one, after speaking about the house, it's not a normal situation. We can't meet our grandfathers and grandmothers. It's crazy. It's sad. We want it to end. We want to hug them. Millions of grandchildren want to hug millions of grandmothers and parents. I want to show you one picture from Israel this week. You see this grandmother waving, and this is the granddaughter just standing here trying to just say Shabbat Shalom. This picture was taken in Modi'in, I think, the city of Modi'in, and while before Shabbat, and what you saw basically is as part of that process, part of learning to appreciate what we have. I'm sure after that thing will end, we will really, I hope we will really learn to appreciate so many grandmothers and grandfathers and so many other people in our life. We can see them now. We can be with them. I hope we will learn all the right lessons, and all the messages will be conveyed. The second picture is I want to show you the second picture. It became quite viral in Israel, but maybe you even saw it in wherever you live. It's hard for me. I don't know, where are you from, who is listening to us, and where, and what time is it. But okay, I want to show you the second picture wherever you are. It's a very, I think, touching picture. This is Miriam Peretz. Miriam Peretz, the famous Miriam Peretz, the teacher, the educator, the speaker. Miriam lost 2 of her sons, Uriel and Eliraz, during their service in the IDF. And she's also a widow. Her husband, Eliezer, passed away a few years ago. And Miriam Peretz posted that really touching picture. Look at the plate and the wine and the glass and the challah. And that's it. That's it. Shabbat Shalom, she says. And really hundreds of thousands of Israelis were so excited. I think there's so many messages in this simple picture. Let's look at it again. First of all, she's a role model. She is a role model in Israel, always. But here, once again, she teaches us, you're 60 plus, please stay home. I know you missed your kids, your grandchildren. If you want to see them again, stay home alone. So that's the first message, the importance of just, doing we have instructions, we have rules, we have laws. Keep it, do the right thing. The second thing, I think, is what she said. She was interviewed afterwards, after this picture became so popular and famous and viral, and she said she found finally time for herself to do things she always wanted to do, and she gave so many examples. She said she cooked healthy food. The kids, they always want a Moroccan family. They always want the traditional food, and now she cooks for herself what she wants to cook. She read a book, and she found time to just be with herself. And you can be miserable and say, "Oh, I'm home alone," but you can find the advantages, and you can, find a way to look at it in a positive way. So once again, it's a time, as we said, to build our identity and to rebuild our connection with the family, and also to evaluate, family members that are not with us now. I want to move forward to the third message, and I want to also share Um, it's something I think about a lot. I mean, basically, the shuls are closed, are locked. Um, Rabbi Arya Leibovitz from our neighborhood asked, someone asked him, he's sure, someone asked him, maybe we shouldn't eat meat right now. Lo le'echol basar. When, so much sorrow. If we can daven, how can we eat meat? It's like celebrating life. If you eat meat, how can we drink wine? So of course, it's not an isur and it's not a psak, but he just mentioned the fact someone asked and thought about it. I mean, it's crazy, and we just got used to it in a way. We live in a very strange situation, and I think when we speak about the family and also about communities, I'm proud. Many people ask, "Oh, Jews because they go to shul, so now they're sick. Now they." First of all, no, we should all. And if there are still communities who don't follow the rules, so it's dangerous and it's an avera, it's a sin. But I'm proud to say, yes, we still believe in a concept called community, and a shul, especially in the States, especially abroad, outside of Israel, a shul is a center of identity. I see it here. It's much stronger than in Israel. In Israel, my husband goes, davens mincha, I don't know where and when, what. Here you have the rabbi, the president of the shul, the assistant rabbi, the youth coordinator, or the secretary. It's an empire of identity. It's a center center for everything. So the fact it's closed now, as I said, it's a tragedy. But once again, we're proud in this world that we still do that radical thing called going and meeting our community. This revolutionary concept of being a part of a shul, yeah. And I'm proud of it. Yeah, we live our way of social. Of course, yeah. Unfortunately, people are sick, and we should start it earlier to to follow the instructions. But don't forget the advantage. I mean, don't forget that we are right. Okay, that's the right way to live. What we see now, that's the wrong thing. That's the crazy situation. And I think in a way, since we're so communal, it's hard now. And I think we're creating a new level, a new type of Mesirut Nefesh. When I say Mesirut Nefesh, I'm sure you think about the Holocaust, or you think about brave warriors. That's Mesirut Nefesh, right? Oh, they escaped, they had pogroms, anti-Semitism. No. Mesirut Nefesh is what we do now. By not meeting, we're not meeting people. We're facing a financial crisis. People are fired. People don't go out. It's hard for them. People change everything in their life. That's also Mesirut with the kids. So many hours. It's hard. Yeah, I know. That's modern Mesirut Nefesh. Nowadays, Mesirut Nefesh. So don't underestimate what you do. What you do is extremely, extremely important. And as I said, we will be part of the world history. I want to share the last message, as I said, and speak about something wider or broader, about different. It's not a personal thing. Spoke about our identity and about the family. I want to talk about the way we buy, the way we sell, the way we treat maybe our credit card, okay, or bank account. It's an opportunity to check once again the way we treat our money. I think it's a huge opportunity right now to rethink about all those concepts. And I want to show you once again an example. Someone posted in Israel this beautiful, beautiful post. His name is Meir Layosh. He lives in a city called Lod. It's near Ben Gurion Airport, mamash next by the airport. And what he shares here, as you can read, check your Hebrew, but what he says here is that it's the first time this week he heard the sound of the birds and the sound of the wind. He lives there for a few years, but that's the first time he hears the birds and the winds. Since now there are no airplanes landing, taking off all day long, 24/7. And for the first time, he lives there, for a few years. Think about it and think about the birds and the wind in your life. What did you discover for the first time? And how will it continue to be important part in our life afterwards in the future? I think what you see in Israel almost every day, the weddings, the simple weddings. I guess I see it also in the States. Some of those videos really became viral. There was a wedding at Merkaz Harav Yeshiva, at the entrance to Yerushalayim, founded by Rav Kook. And there was a young couple there, Yaron and Arava. And everything was canceled, obviously, the whole ceremony, the guests, everything. So they went to the yeshiva of the Khatan. And what they saw there was his friends standing outside their rooms, in the dorms, standing there, and from the balconies, dancing and with them. And it became 2 minutes afterwards, I saw it on WhatsApp groups here in New York. And I read Americans that were weeping, crying. It was so exciting, They became part of that wedding. So think about it. Yaron and Anava thought only 10, 20 people will attend their wedding. But at the end of the day, what you hear is the noise, the kids somewhere there. But at the end of the day, hundreds of thousands of people attended their wedding virtually. They saw it all over the world. And they were excited because of that young, humble couple. And there's so many weddings, that type of weddings. I heard Rav Shmuel Polak in Israel, he said, the first wedding was Adam and Chava's wedding, right? In Gan Eden. And nobody was there to make them happy, to dance with them, to participate. Nobody was there. But it was the happiest wedding since Hashem, he came there in order to sameach, to dance with them, to be, he was the guest. And Rav Polak in Israel, he said it to the couples that are getting married now. So you're like Adam and Chava. Nobody's here. 10 people, 20 people. You could imagine something completely different. But Hashem is here. Kedusha, Shechina, holiness, it's here. And I think people feel it. I read the way people describe those weddings. Something in the air, something special. You're there and you have to, if you're there, you have to be meaningful. And think about all the weddings we attended, we were to during last year. Hundreds of people, more than 1,000, sometimes thousands of people. Simple is sometimes really the best. And we learn this path toward being more simple. I saw the kids in Israel, in the city of Petah Tikva, also a very popular video. Kids just standing there on the balcony, just singing with the neighbors. So simple. A week ago, those kids needed the best brands, and the so expensive things. Now you tell them, go sing with your neighbors. This is such an attraction. they love it. That's so cool. What happened? The world, as I said, things are changing. And I really hope that we will choose at the end of the day to remember that period. No, we don't have to be at home all day. We want to buy, we want to shop, we want to go out. But wasn't it a little bit too crazy before everything started? Weren't we a little bit exaggerating? Shouldn't we be more simple? We think the world belongs to us, that everything is available. You know what? Even in the political field, 3 elections in 1 year. Are we crazy? I mean, how can we in Israel afford ourselves that game? I'm sure it won't happen again. It's impossible. Now, it's a real crisis. But before it started, what do you think? That the world is just waiting for you to decide? Can't you just form a stable coalition? What's going on here? How? Really? Think about this situation. 3 elections in 1 year. My son asked me, Mommy, I know we're the only democracy in the Middle East, but aren't you a little bit exaggerating with that democracy thing? And he is right. I think now, once again, it's another message we should learn, to be more humble and more simple and change the way we think, not only about our money, everything in a way around us. And once again, it's an opportunity. The weddings and everything afterwards can look different, can be different. Things can be less expensive. I think in a way, we must find a way to make the world better afterwards. I want to end by just sharing once again those 3 messages for those of you who want to follow. So as I said, I think it's an opportunity to build our identity, to strengthen the family, and to check the, I would say, capitalist culture, economic culture, everything has to do something, with our money, but also values. I hope things will change. This is for those of you who want to follow and get all my messages in Hebrew and in English. You see this slide here. There's the number for Israeli phone for Israelis, and this is number for Americans. You can text your name to either of those numbers, and there's a group of volunteers, and they will add you to the list. You can subscribe and get all the lessons, all the shiurim, the lectures, the hartza'ot, the things I usually regularly send out. So you're more than invited to join. I want to end once again by thanking the World Mizrahi Movement and all those who worked so hard. And maybe that's also something we will learn. 2 weeks ago, if you said, yeah, shiur on Zoom, why do I need Zoom? I don't know how to use it. I give lectures. I meet hundreds of people all over North America. I visited so many great communities. And now everything is, this distance. It's hard. It's hard. But in a way, once again, part of the package now is learning how to use those tools better and how to use them for the good. They were created in order to have Shuai Torah, not for all the junk you see outside. No, we should use them in the pure way, the way they're meant to be. And I think, we see it in the world lately, the last few days. So many shiurim, especially this really impressive Bet Midrash. So thank you for the opportunity to speak here. I wish us all a lot of success. We're starting a new book, Vayikra, a new parsha, Parashat Vayikra, this week. Be'ezrat Hashem, we just said on Shabbat, Chazak, Chazak, v'nitchazek. And may we really meet in good health, רפואה שלמה, and בשורות טובות in Eretz Israel. תודה רבה. Thank you very much. לילה טוב, and Shabbat Shalom already. Shabbat Shalom וחודש טוב. Goodbye.